I'm gonna be coming at y'all real quick. This here is a review of DD's Ladies Panel, which honest to God, D- DD's been wanting to do the Ladies Panel for a couple of years, and y'all, it was a treat. I'm gonna be off camera for a little bit, um, because I'm actually getting ready to start to eat, but even though I'm eating, I'm still gonna do this live stream. Amen, amen. Okay then. With that being said, let's get into Dee Dee and this ladies panel. Enjoy, everyone. And I love the new theme that Dee Dee has.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee Dee. Welcome back to another live stream. Happy Friday to you guys. So I am back with with the first ladies live stream, you guys. We have some gorgeous women here who are going to share their perspective, and I'm so excited about this live stream. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna also talk about some things that y'all are interested in. So we're gonna hop right into it, you guys. Make sure as you come into the building, you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. It is free to like, share, and also if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right. And also, as you come in, hit the like button. And if you want to support the channel, you can support via super chat or cash app. All right. All of the ladies' channels and their Instagrams or whatever, will be posted in the description. So make sure you go over and subscribe to them, follow them, show them some love. So we're going to get started. We're going to start from the top. Red Anna Talk. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them where to follow you?
Hey guys, it's your girl, me, it's Anna. I go under Red Talk Anna. I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok. That's where you're gonna find me.
All right, Sandra.
Hey y'all, my name is Sandra Faye, or if you're messing with Sean, Sandra Faye. I'm here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, and I am on TikTok as well. I talk about all kinds of things, whether it's politics, dating, the Black community. We get into a lot.
Hello, welcome.
Even the aliens. I've even talked about the aliens that are supposed to be visiting us in December. So if you're interested in a lot of topics, that's where it's at over on my channel.
Smell the roses.
Hey y'all, my name is Raquel Rose. My channel is called Smell the Roses, and over on my channel we talk about topics like self-improvement, personal growth, relationships, love, dating dynamics, misandry, critiques, things like that. It's good to see you all, and I'm happy to be here.
Carmen, tell them where to find you.
Hi everyone, I am Carmen JC and I am on YouTube. Actually, I'm on all platforms under Carmen JC, and I critique the Black community in a very honest way that they don't like. So, yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
I love it.
I do.
Queen of Vibes, tell them where to find you.
Hey guys, I'm Queen of Vibes, and you guys can find me on Instagram and I don't necessarily make content right now, but eventually in the future, I hope to become a YouTuber. So you can follow me on YouTube as well.
All right. So we're gonna hop right in, y'all. So y'all see the question that I have at hand. The first question is, who do you guys think are responsible for the divide amongst women, black men and women in our communities, and why do you think there is such a divide? Whoever wants to start, you can go. But I want to start there because of course, I want to get into what Carmen speaks a lot about too. 'Cause
Hey y'all.
she's very she goes in deep. That's why I like her
What
what
up,
she says. But
CIP? What
before
up,
we get
18?
into
What
the
up, Pooh Man?
degeneracy of the women in our communities, who do you think is responsible for the divide amongst
What's up?
women and
What's
men?
up?
Because that's what it seems to be. This gender war between women and men. Who do you think is more responsible? Do you think it's the men
Only
in the
reason I'm
community
not
or
on
women,
camera
or
yet is because I'm eating. That's the only reason.
who want to start?
Whoa,
I actually
dude,
think it's
you
led
ain't gotta
by a lot of
spam the
women
chat,
because a lot
bro.
of the women lead a lot of the culture, social media.
Handle
You know,
you real quick.
I think that the women are the
Give
elders,
you 5 minute
kind
cool
of put the
down.
piss in the poo. Excuse my language. You know, they raise their daughters with fear. So we out here, with fear. People are being lazy. They're letting their daughters be lazy. That's why you seeing bonnets every 5 minutes and
Talk about it.
rocks inside. I mean, we outside looking lazy. We outside looking like
Talk
we don't
about it,
care. Like
Anna.
we just rolled over and said, "Somebody get my house shoes." I mean, I think it starts with the women. The women are the ones that kind of mold the things. I honestly do think that.
I agree with that. I think it's the women too. The women are we're the nesters, right? So like we make our homes, or we make them, prisons of some sort. I think most people are out acting like they've been grown up in a prison, like with the Crocs thing and not caring about, their appearance. It's I think it comes from the women. Like when the women have a higher standard, then it's like everybody else raises to that standard. And when it's low, then everybody just, does the low thing. But until women start, getting under some instruction and, falling under a
Bingo.
man, not so to speak a man, maybe like listening to your father, or the brothers in your family that tell you, these things that you're doing are not conducive for the.
Here's why I gotta stop it. Bro, Raquel, here's my question. How can any of these women be up under instruction when they see instruction has slavery? Let me ask you again. How can these women be up under instruction when they see instruction has slavery?
Greater good of the family or the communities that they're in. I mean, yeah, everything is keep popping, and anything that's fun is good, and anything that is, anything that you have to work hard and strive for is boring and mundane, and they don't really put any thought into it, like their appearance. So yeah, you get that from your mom, I think, or you don't.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carmen. I want to hear what Carmen has to say about this. Who do you think is the problem?
So I would say, as soon as Black women aligned themselves with the government, it's been downhill since then. And what happened, it seems that Black women are in control of the community. So you can try to blame Black men and say that it's Black men's fault, but Black men simply don't control the community. They're simply not raising the children. And Black women don't listen to Black men. Black women think that they run Black men, and Black men should listen to them, even though they're voting 92%.
Macaroni salad and
shows
some
that
chicken
black women
coke,
doesn't have the
CIP.
leadership and they don't raise the best
Chicken and
children.
macaroni
And until
salad,
black
brother.
women change, I like to tell people this, until black women make a
Damn,
difference
y'all wasn't supposed to hear
in
me
the community
smacking.
with their children, with the
Hope I
decisions that they
wasn't
make,
smacking.
as far as allowing the men back in. It doesn't even have to be black men, just allow men back in. These women are just single. It's not even like they just don't date black men. They're just single. Nobody wants to date them. And it's because of their attitude. It's because of how they carry themselves. It's this clique-like behavior that they exhibit. And the not being able to be corrected, that is the main one. And on top of that, they don't respect anyone. So as long as we keep seeing that, it's going to continue to be a problem in the black community. So you can say it's both, but ultimately, like I said, the women are in control.
Here's my question. What lie did Carmen tell? What lie did Carmen tell? I tell you, not a one.
So do you think that it's going to be up to the women to change it and make it if it's going to get better?
It's going to have to be the women, because if the women don't change their mind about, like, first getting off of all of this government assistance, allowing these men back in their homes and allowing them to have a say so with their children, that's part of the problem. These women think that they have all the answers until I essentially like to say that they have to soften their hearts. Until black women are able to soften their hearts and allow these men back in the home, it's not going to get better. If black women don't change, the community is done.
Also, I see a lot of women even correcting their the father in front of the kids as if he's one of the kids. See it all the time. I mean, you know, we are living in a state of it's like no correction. It's like no correction boulevard. It's like they don't. I just told a woman the other day, quit correcting your husband in front of your daughter. A lot of women don't even allow the father of their children that they pick to lay down with to give any rules or instruction.
And that's the
And
problem.
then what I also noticed is that it's not even just black men. It seems like any person, regardless of how they look, try to correct them or at least give them the opportunity to self-reflect or any of that. They'll find any reason to shut you out and be like, this conversation ain't even got nothing to do with you, or why you trying to tell us black women how we supposed to, and even their own, like even one of us, they'll find a way to deflect on when we try to correct them.
It's true. It's the
Oh my God.
yeah.
The sisterhood, Bonnie crew, traveling pants, like come on. You know, the sisterhood is just ridiculous. It's just insanity. You know what I mean? Because you're only good in the sisterhood if you agree with everything that they say. The minute you have pushback, or the minute that you have something that they don't agree with, oh, you're a pick me. What I call pick me nation. We all probably pick me's, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because we don't agree with what we're seeing in the community, and especially amongst black women. Sandra,
Oh,
did you
you know
go ahead
that
and answer
pick
that
me.
question?
So, the best way to really analyze something like this is to look at other communities as well. Okay? And if we look at a lot of other communities, when feminism entered the chat, you see their communities are starting to deteriorate the same way. Okay? Maybe not exactly one for one, but when you see feminism going into South Korea, you see feminism going into Japan, you see feminism going into all these different areas, and you see how the society is starting to fall apart. So if we're going to try to figure out where a lot of these problems are originating, while I do agree it takes two to tango, it takes two to destroy the community, I will say, if I analyze all these other areas, and it's feminism, the introduction of feminism, and I don't need a man, and
Talk
how
about
dare
it,
you
Central.
man try
Talk
to guide
about
me,
it.
and I still demand that you protect me, and we see how those societies are starting to crumble. Their birth rates are low as heck. The women are outwardly just, it's kind of embarrassing, but they don't even register it. They're outwardly saying how they're basically femcells and they can't even get with the man. They
Exactly,
wish they were
CIP,
the man, but they can't get with
exactly.
one. And it's all rooted in that introduction of feminism. So when you had black women, and You know, honestly, like when I try to talk about the different origins of things, people misconstrue it as me placing blame elsewhere. It's not that. We can acknowledge where the seeds were planted, but we also can acknowledge that we watered those seeds. So when we had, you know, white women feminism kind of coming up, Black women, and this is something that people don't want to admit, we wanted to be as close to whiteness as possible. So when you have these white women feminists coming up and talking about how they didn't need their man and this, that, and the third, Black women wanting to be in proximity to white women started latching on to a lot of those talking points.
Yep.
Started introducing those talking points into their home. And what we know about Black women is that we're hyperbolic, okay? We do things extra. You give us an inch, we're gonna take a mile. So they had their feminism, we took it to the next mile.
Yep.
So that's why we see the destruction happening as fast and as, you know, at the scale that it is, because we wanted to be in sisterhood with the white feminists, and then we took it to the extreme. And our home lives, our communities are suffering because of it.
Well, they want comfort. They don't want solutions.
And
Right.
you know that brings me. Anybody else want to rebuttal that or add to that to what she said before we move on?
I'll say a small rebuttal to that. I totally agree that feminism is the problem. And like she said, just going like hardcore feminism where you're just all the way to the left on, you know, women need to be equal to men. And if you pay attention to these women, they don't want to be feminists because the moment that a check comes to the table, they think the man is supposed to pay for the bill. They're not hardcore feminists. These women are just brainwashed, and they're brainwashed to be used against men. That's all it is. They wanted to tax them and use them against men, and they're the perfect people for the government to use. And then when women that don't subscribe to that tell them like, hey, you know, men are cool, men are awesome, they're like, no, we hate men. You know, so I think that the whole brainwashing of the woman and making her feel like that she has to equal up to a man, even though women and men, we just provide different value. It's not the same. It's never going to
Right.
look the same. And, you know, you don't go like have problems and think, let me go find a woman. That's just not what it is. We're going like if you're with a man and something happens, you're going to look at him. He's not going to look at you. He's not even he's going to look at you to make sure you're okay. He's not going to look at you to be like, okay, what are we doing? No, you're going to look at him. And that's just what it is. And it's okay for men to be great in those areas. It doesn't take away from a woman's greatness. And I think that's what they believe, that if they are not feminists, that they're not pro-woman. Because I used to believe that. Like, you don't want to
I did too.
women to have their rights. I used to believe that. I used to believe that I'm a feminist. I'm wrong with my being. And that's kind of how it's set up for them. They're set up to believe exactly that. So, yeah.
I thought it just meant girl power in the beginning. Like, and then when I learned a little bit more about it and I was educating myself, I was like, oh, well, that's bad. Well, and then I found this other word called womanist. And I got that from, I guess that was the Black woman's term for feminism. And that didn't, you know, somebody had to point that out to me too. So then I'm like, well, what am I? And they were like, you're a woman. Like, you're just a woman, and you don't subscribe to any ideology. You do you. Like, you don't have to be a girl's girl, or you don't have to fight for girl power. You know, you get your husband, you get your children, you do that's what you do. And yeah, you know, thankfully I have uncles and my dad, you know, when I have these outlandish thoughts, you know, reading Harper's Bazaar or Vogue magazine, you take those little questionnaires in the book, and I think that's how they grab you in to indoctrinate you to be like a girl's girl or a feminist or a womanist, and it's a crock of bull. But yeah, I started out the same way in college, thinking this is girls' power, and it's not.
Yes.
What's crazy about feminism is that they literally put all the eggs in the basket of what a man can do. So it's like, I'm valuable if I'm able to do what a man can do. But I'm like, isn't that inherently anti-woman? Like, we have things
Talk
that are
about
about us, that are specific to us, that a man literally, for the life of him, will never be able to do. But instead of, appreciating that aspect of us, that aspect of being a woman, instead of doing that, no, we only have value if we're doing what a man can do. So in a sense, feminism, and I could be wrong here, but feminism to me is actually misogyny. It's actually the hatred of women, because you guys literally, not you guys, but they literally are demonizing the very things that are inherently woman. That just makes no sense to me.
It's crazy. But then they also pushing like those men that want to be women, and then they're trying to replace them replace us with them now. So yeah, it's like they trying to completely shut us out and make us non-existent.
That part.
Don't nobody want them, him wrestling my daughter.
Did y'all see where that lady at Planet Fitness, there was a guy she found in the bathroom, and she told them about it, and they had canceled her membership.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like,
Yeah, I seen where that.
him over her.
Yeah, I seen when that girl lost that title over that. Was it Miss Strong?
Oh, yeah.
Competition?
Yeah.
Looking like they can pick up Cadillacs and Buicks. That was crazy. that looked like that man just went in there and went to the salon and got his hair colored and was like, I'm about to join the women's side. Like,
No, I was like, how the heck they couldn't tell that was a guy? Cause I'm like, how often do you see a woman that tall?
Yeah.
Trying to get us
And you would think that the feminists would be the ones, hardcore going against that, but
Right.
they call women that do that, oh, you're a turf. You're a turf. Like,
turf.
That's why you know that they're not doing it because they truly believe it, and they're just going with the movement, and they're just going along with what they're told to. Like, I don't think they even think about, like, okay, where did this come from? Like, even when you talk about abortion and stuff, like, if you really want to talk about the feminist movement, they used to have to like protest so they didn't get sterilized, right? So if you have a baby, if you had a baby and it wasn't with the father of the kid, they would think that you were like mentally ill, and they would try to sterilize you so you wouldn't have kids. They had sterilization camps all over the United States. And, you would think that these women with that type of history, that they would be like, we want to fight for our reproductive rights,
Right.
So it's actually all inverted, and they can't see because it's all based off emotion. All of it is emotion, none of it is logical, and that's why you don't need women to do these type of things. That's why women don't lead, because look what they follow. They follow emotions and how they feel and what makes them feel good. And,
Talk to him, Carmen.
This is why women are not meant to be in certain positions. This is why when they get degrees, they go get psychology degrees, and they want to get, social work and stuff like that. And then they wonder why they don't have any money,
Yeah, you're right.
Fair.
Yeah. All,
Definitely fair.
it was,
They
it
want
was,
to be men until they actually have to do what men do.
Talk
Another
about
thing. It's like,
Didi.
y'all mentioned,
Talk
y'all spoke to
about it.
earlier. You want control. You don't want equality. You want control. You want to be able to say that you're just exactly what they're doing. You want to say that you're
Talk
better than men. You
about
want to do
it.
everything better than a man. You want to be
Didi.
like a man. But if men are expected to pay off,
Women don't want love. They want control. You ain't said nothing but a word, Didi. Ain't nothing but a word.
the bills and be masculine and all of this, why are they so selective in their manly roles? Why is it that you only want to do certain things, but the other things you don't want to do when that's what men would do? So why y'all complain? This my thing is this. It trips me out because my mind just be boggling. I'm just like, how in the world, you expect all of these things from a man, and then complain don't get it, but then you in the same breath say these men aren't men. It's it's a bunch of foolery, and when you really listen to it, I get tired of
It
hearing it
is
sometimes because it just doesn't make any sense.
foolery and
The
stupidity.
expectations that a lot of these women have, and the things that they look for in a man, and then how they turn around and try to denigrate men and put men down and say you got to make 6 figures and you got to have all these things. When a lot of them, they act like a man, want to be a man, but you don't even have the things that you're requiring a man that a man should have.
That part.
Go ahead.
That's the first thing they say is he ain't a man, but they walking around here looking like cabbage patches that didn't want rogue with the big old iron hooks in the nose and y'all out of shape, y'all leaning one side, y'all ain't smell good no more. I say this all the time. I remember my aunties and them smell like white diamonds and rapture and stuff. Y'all, these women don't smell like nothing. They smell like hot steel. Like, they don't even smell like anything. Y'all don't do your hair no more. Y'all make excuses. Y'all don't get yourself together until y'all get divorced, till you break up with your man. I mean, we are over it. And y'all call us not a girls, with y'all trauma bonding. That's all that is. Nobody want to join that little negative little trauma bonding group. Come on now.
So they want men to trauma bond with them. It seems to be like you want a man to sit by. This is what I said before. They want men to be, even though you complain about a sassy, feminine man, you want a man to be half masculine and half feminine. You want him to sit down and
Yep.
at you and trauma. And then on the other and you want him to work hard and pay all the bills and do everything masculine, be ready to fight for you and do all this other stuff. It just don't make sense.
It don't make no sense.
Got to pay alimony, then everybody want to fall out the car on the freeway.
But what kind of relationship works where you get all the benefits and none of the responsibility?
Right.
Like, that is so immature.
Yeah.
It's extremely predatory.
It's like, grow up.
Right.
Exactly. It's like if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should want to give, not just take.
Right.
I could never understand that. That's like you're dealing with somebody or people you don't even like.
Right.
Because if you really like that person, it's gonna bring you joy to cook for them. It's gonna bring you joy.
You ain't told nothing but the truth on that one, 18.
You're not gonna be sitting over
Damn. They smell like their homes. Weed and burnt fried chicken grease. You ain't shit for that one, 18. But you ain't told no damn lie.
They don't mind being a slave for their corporation, though. They don't mind putting on some clothes and getting just right.
Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday.
But a lot of them speak like that. They're not even in relationships. And a lot of them have never been in any type of serious relationship. They're just saying what the sisterhood, the Bonnie Crew members are telling them to say, and they're just running with it. They don't. Even, some of them don't even have the experience. They don't even know. A lot of I always say it's if y'all if you watch my channel, I always say, listen, relationships, the marriages is work. They're work. You don't just get into it and think that it's just going to be easy breezy because the man is supposed to do everything that you say. And, in terms of relationships and marriages, you got to put in work. It's a give and take. It's not just you sit back and he cater to you. This is why I shake my head when I see a lot of these women speaking on relationships and marriages and what a man should do, but you never hear what they should do. So it's that unequal. I mean, it's not even a balance. It's just like they just think that a man is just supposed to cater to them, and that's it. And if he's not catering to you, he's trash. This relationship doesn't serve me anymore, so I'm moving on to the next. That's just how.
You know what it is? It's because they've never seen it in their lives. That's what it is. They've never seen it. They've only seen their mothers tricking from person to person. They've never seen a real man in their lives, and that's why they don't know what a real man act like. And that is the truth. They don't have fathers. Their father never gave them anything, because if your father gave you stuff, you wouldn't be so thirsty to go ask somebody for something. And you would be, even that much of a boss babe or a boss bitch, or however you want to put it. If you got it on your own, you wouldn't need men. And that's the real gag there. The gag is,
Ooh. Carmen coming with razor blades, salt, and lemon juice. Carmen coming in with no chill.
Y'all ain't never seen a healthy relationship in your lives. That's why you can't freaking get it. That's why you can't obtain it, and why you require so much, because you've seen your mother or your sister or your grandmother or your auntie. You've seen them tricking off with dudes, switching different dudes out, asking them for money, being losers. And guess what? You became a loser. That's what it is. That is what it is. You guys just are.
Yep, you became a loser.
Losers, okay? Y'all pushing losers out. The baby is a loser before he even have a chance. It's like because you are a loser. Not the baby.
Damn.
I mean, statistically,
Right.
Damn, Carmen. Said the mama, the daddy, and the baby's a loser. But y'all want to know the sad part? Carmen ain't told no lie. That's the sad part. Carmen did not tell a lie. Let's continue.
It's more times than not going to be a loser.
Right.
I mean, we saw what happened in Chicago with that woman that was trying to walk her kids home from school, and the hyenas chased her down and attacked her. They weren't even really teenage age at that point. It was like 11-year-olds, 8-year-olds,
Yeah, middle school
maybe one 13-year-old, and they were acting like full-blown thugs. Yeah. And not even that, I've seen like there was this one hyena of a mother, and she had her little toddler out here with a rap career, and he's talking about guns this, talking about, you know, relations that. It's just, you're absolutely right. That loser mentality, that loser behavior, it has infiltrated so much throughout our community.
It has.
And it's to the point where a lot of our people, and I hate to say this, a lot of our people have pride in being losers.
Yeah.
They sit over here and defend. They will defend being a loser to the day they die.
Look, we have become
and I'm just sitting over here like, wow.
losers and degenerates.
And you really see this, and I don't want to, veer too off into this because I know we're talking about relationships, but you really see this when we talk about racism. It's like, you get on the subject and you're like, well, the white man did this, and so I can't do this. And I'm like, why are you giving all your power and agency to the what? I thought you were an autonomous adult. Don't you have choices you can make? But no. Oh, it's the white man. It's this. It's this. And I'm like, that is loser behavior because you're not taking any agency, any ownership over your choices. And that's the part that really gets me. And it affects every area of our life, our relationships, the way we're raising our kids, and the way we're showing up in the world. Or it's the our kids and the way we're showing up in the world. Or
Carmen was saying that, the children are losers before they grow up, right? And so then, Sandra, you mentioned Chicago. Did you see, like, when they had that, rally at the school after the fight happened and everyone was rallying behind the mother, that there was a man that tried to come out and like talk to the women, and the women were ready to tear him to shreds, and he ended up leaving.
Yeah, that's because he was trying to calm them down. But you can't calm those women down. Unfortunately, so when some people get to a certain age, and basically the women in that community were too far gone to be helped.
And so the women, the mothers that came out, to the school to say, what is happening with our children, they were out there acting as ratchet as the children were acting the day they beat the woman up with her children. So like that is more of an example of why we say it's the women's fault, because
not only is it the women's fault, the women and the children are unfortunately products of the same environment. But the thing is, though, some of them unfortunately don't believe that they can do better than their current environment. And then again, some of them don't want to do better than a current environment because, simply put, they are too lazy to want to advance themselves. So you got that aspect of things as well.
They should have come out there very humbly, like, what can we do to help? And instead, it was, it's the school's fault. The school should have done more. And when the guy was trying to say,
First off, a child's behavior is never the school's fault. A child's behavior is the fault on the parents and the parents alone. Point blank end of discussion, period.
it starts with the families at home,
Yeah.
they totally dismissed him.
Yeah, and that's something that they always do. Those particular women, because there's no accountability. And we talk about that all the time. When I talk about it starts at home, and the fact that a lot of these are single mother-led households,
They are.
that's when they lose their mind. Their head spins around like Reagan from the Exorcist. It's like, no, you don't want to accept the fact that this starts at home, and a lot of these children are out here with this type of behavior because they don't have stable parents who are raising them. It's always, in my opinion, going to go back to the home, the teachings or the lack thereof from your parents. And because these are unstable households, you get unstable children, you get unstable, this is the outcome of that. And
Yep.
so when we talk about these things, to me it always goes back to the
Wild parents make wild children.
upbringing. It started at home. Who raised you? Were there fathers in the home? Were there, two stable parents? And that's something a lot of people don't want to accept because they don't have it and they weren't raised in it and they didn't create it. So now they're just like, pushing back against it because they don't want to make any changes or accept that is a part of the real part of the problem. So
Yeah. And you seen them mothers is acting like live Chucky dolls. This is what I always say. When you got daughters, I see it all the time, daughters back mouthing their fathers, talking crazy to them. And I always say to the mom, how you think she gonna talk to me? How you think she gonna come out in the world? Everybody's not gonna treat her like y'all treat her.
right.
Y'all about to set this girl up. She about to come out here and get rocked and boated. Like
Yep.
there's no princess treatment. Like they want,
Right.
These women they want they want a reward for bad behavior. It ain't happening.
Nope,
And
ain't
here's the
happening.
thing, and this is another part, a lot of these mothers are setting their daughters up to fail on purpose.
Yep,
You
some
can't
of them
convince me.
are.
There are a lot of mothers that are in competition with their daughters.
Yep.
And so they will raise them to be hyenas because, if you grow up and you make all these poor decisions and you see your life is in disarray, then a lot of people, what they'll try to do is rationalize it and make themselves feel better about it. So if I see that other women or the younger women are making the same mistakes that I'm making, then it's not that I'm a bad person. It's not that I'm stupid. It's not that I'm crazy as hell. No, it's just this is how society is. It's just how women are. It's not that it was me and my choices. No, because they have comfort in numbers. So you have a lot of women that will go out of their way to raise their children to be exactly like them or worse. And then that gives them comfort in how piss poor their lives turn out to be.
Right. And when we talk about the degeneracy amongst women in our communities, what do you guys think about? I'm always saying you guys. What do y'all think about the culture of Sexy Red, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, all of this that these women are flocking behind and praising? Are these the individuals who are raising these young women, or do you think that this is what who their influences are, and who's raising them, and this is partly why they are the way that they are, and acting the way that they're
Ooh, let me
acting? Do you
clip
think
my
that
toenails.
social media and celebrity and rap culture and all of this has a lot to do with it?
It definitely does.
Yeah.
Sexy Red, Cardi B, those are women who cannot be led. And they're
And I'm going to add on to what Anna just said. Notice she said Sexy Red, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion. Now, you can add Sukiana and a few more in there. There was a time that black women it gave a damn about their image. The fact that black women co-sign a Meg Thee Stallion, a Cardi B, a Sukiana, a Sexy Red, it tells me that black women no longer give a damn about their image. And that right there should be a problem. Let's get back into this. Black women, y'all need to care about your image again.
For women who cannot be led, you know, and they're like the lead singers, and the modern women are the backup singers. Like they're going right behind them.
Yep.
Yes, I'm literally seeing 14-year-olds out here getting BBLs and let's see, nails and shoe.
It's sad out here.
All weird.
It's sad and weird.
I just saw a little girl getting long nails, and I was so sad watching it happen. And even the lady that was doing her nails didn't want to do it because, like, her cuticles are so perfect, and they know what's gonna happen when they put those nails on. And she couldn't have been more than 9 years old, y'all. Like, I get like wanting to do the Leon press-on nails that we used to get from like CVS or Walmart, but to do like a real full set where they're drilling it down,
No.
I was just looking like,
No.
wow, this is really sad. But mom had nails out to here, a bust down. You know, I just kept my head down, kept my headphones on, like, let me just mind my own business. But that's gonna breed more of the same.
Yeah,
I'm
unfortunately.
friends with the daughters. They don't. They're not momming. They're they over there trying to be a friend.
I mean, yeah, there was this salon nail tech. She didn't.
And not only that, some of these mothers treat their children instead of treating them like children. They treat a child like they a quote unquote accessory, which is also a problem. Let's get back into this.
Want to do the little boys.
I was just going to bring that up too. I was going to say that was related.
So I'm like, the next generation is cooked. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
they're
what it's
cooked.
gonna look
They're
like.
done.
I don't know. You know, it's just if this is what's raising our future, it's gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's also intentions. It's also intentions, right? You have a lot of these moms that are wanting to do all this for the internet. So they will have their kid out here, their daughters or their sons out here looking a damn mess because they know it garners views. Everyone loves to watch a freak show, and that's the part that we don't ever want to admit. That's why when we see crazy
And parents who do that need to have their kids took. I said what I said.
stuff, we like to stare. That's why, you know, the thumbnails that look wild as hell, they make you want to click on them because that's just an inner thing where we just like to see a freak show. And we all know deep down inside, whether or not folks want to admit it, but when you see little girls dressed like 304 dressed like their 304 mothers, it's a freak show. And so that's why a lot of people are clicking on those profiles, they're watching it, and these mothers are doing it on purpose. They are literally sacrificing their child's childhood in order to get likes on social media, in order to get ad rev on whatever website it is. So they're offering their children up to the slaughter, just like how you have some parents that are coercing their sons into being trans, putting, you know, girl clothes on them. It's all for the purposes of virtue signaling and then also getting views and kudo points. Because, oh my God, your son is trans. Look at you. You're so inclusive. Oh my God. Like, they're doing it for all of this false admiration. And then, you know, it continues to snowball and it inspires other kids, because then you have kids that they get the phone and their parents just let them scroll until they see another little girl dressed like that. And they're like, oh, I want to look like that. So whereas we used to look up to like the girls on Disney Channel where they would have like the scarves and it looks real tacky, but it's age appropriate. It's for a child. Where we would look up to that and want to dress like that. No, they're looking up to little girls in crop tops and booty shorts and long fingernails and weaves, and it's going to continue to breed that dysfunction.
Right.
Yeah, we need some leadership from men.
Where the fault is right.
What a wolf.
Until they're ready to bow down and get with the program. I mean, this year, I will say, it's going to be a cold winter. So
very cold winter.
A lot of them don't even make enough money to be single. So,
and let me add on to what Anna is saying. It's already a very cold winter for some of these women out here. Now, and I've said before to Nika Marie's chat, if you're over almost the age, if you're right at 50 and over, winter no longer exists for you. Once you hit 50 and you're on the dating market, you're no longer in winter. You have went from winter to ice age. Enjoy your ice age till the day you die. That's all I gotta say. Let's get back into this.
we're winning. So I will say a lot of them don't even make enough money to be single. So I don't know why they fighting so hard to just be tore up. Like, I ain't never seen somebody fighting so hard just to throw themselves in the garbage can. I mean, and then
Right.
like you just said that with the sis and all the alphabet community. Like we ran with that so tough, and as soon as they said their rights was violated, I thought there goes civil rights. There goes civil rights. Like, y'all done fed that to them too. It's all about it. It's all about it.
And I think, I think the BBL culture plays a major role in this when you see like the Sexy Red, well, I know Sexy Red is not BBL, but like when you see the Cardi B's and I don't know if Megan Thee Stallion, whatever, but when you...
How did we go from BBL to BBL culture? I will never figure that one out for the life of me. How we have a culture around the BBL. I just don't get it.
Think about the BBL culture. I think mixing that with social media, it made women think like it's almost like a lottery ticket. Like if I get my body done.
And that's something else I want to say too. Social media, even though it has brainwashed a lot of women, social media has also been brainwashed a chunk of the men as well. So it's not women who are brainwashed by social media. It's also some men who unfortunately got brainwashed by it too.
And I look like them, maybe I can live that lifestyle too, or maybe I'm going to find a rich guy that likes how I look, and that'll be my way out. But they don't have, like, they think it's all about a look. Like their mind doesn't go past, okay, so what do I do when I have to talk to this guy and have to tell him my interest and have to, actually date this guy? They don't get to that moment of actually knowing how to carry themselves, so they think that their BBL is going to be like a meal ticket. That's what they think, and this is when I noticed there was a problem in Black culture, because all of them always say that they don't have money for anything, and then they all turned up with BBLs. They found the money, and I was like, oh, you guys, you found the money for that, so now you can't tell me that you can't buy something now you can't tell me that you can't afford to get out of the neighborhood that you're in. I don't want to hear those excuses, because when it came to a BBL, when it came to getting veneers, you guys all figured it out. You all figured it out. You made a way to do it. And the Sexy Reds and the Cardi B's, they're like their role models, okay? They sing the lyrics that they feel like they can sing to the men, or sing about the men, the prostitution music, which goes hand in hand with this BBL culture. And they think that their lives are going to change off of that. And not to mention, like, I don't know who said about the moms being like their friends. We don't have grandmas anymore. Like, we used to can save the children with grandmas, but we simply don't have them. And if you look at, I don't know what happened in like today's time, but all of the people that are like 50, they look amazing. Okay, they look great. All of the stars that are like 50, look at like Gabrielle Union, Halle Berry,
Okay, I'm
all
back.
of them, Jennifer Lopez, all of them stars that are in their 50s, they still look young.
Yeah.
And they think that their lives are not over, that they don't have to be grandmas. They're not taking on the grandma role. And I think that is putting hurt on the community.
It is.
Listening to the dysfunction, and like, I don't know if people know about music and vibrations and what that does to your body, but like, it actually like it makes you, like, I've listened to the music and it makes you feel like, I don't know, I don't want to say like a spirit that comes upon you, which I believe it is, like a spirit that comes upon you, and it just makes you like have this ego about yourself.
Mhm.
And to me, the ego is the worst thing that you could be operating out of, and that is like I don't know, the ego is probably worse than money to me.
It's basically like the demonic spirit is basically entering into people through music. I know exactly what you're talking about. I used to be like into a lot of that stuff like years ago.
My
Like-
friends, when I was younger, they used to turn on like 666 and like go and do bad things. But before they went in to do those bad things, they had to put on those records to gin themselves up to go and do it. So I totally believe that too, that it's like the music and it brings on that macho ego demonic spirit where you want to like puff up your chest. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like it basically like goes into that whole thing of like selling your soul into the devil, like the whole entertainment industry. Like it goes hand in hand. Like
Yeah,
when
and
they
it's
have these
just-
celebrities selling their souls to like put out their certain music, because they know it can influence people into making those decisions, like what we see now.
Like Sexy Red's lip gloss. I'm sorry.
All right, the lip glosses are beyond disgusting.
I
Her lip
mean,
glosses. And the fact that no
Yeah.
one even like made a big deal about that, they should have immediately counseled her when she dropped those
Damn
lip glosses.
right.
And that's another reason I knew that the black women were done, because you guys are letting someone sell gonorrhea and booty hole brown lip glosses.
right.
It's disgusting.
Wait a
And
minute.
If you,
Wait a
if you
minute.
go look at the comments,
I knew the gun real one was her real name. She actually named her lip gloss Booty Hole Brown. Oh yeah, yeah. The community is cooked.
they're like mind, and this is just how dysfunctional they are, because they don't see a problem with it. They don't even realize how much they've been radicalized, and it just really far left. They are really far left, and it's no correcting them. I think that's the part that hurts them the most, the part where they don't listen and won't be corrected.
I mean, selling lip glosses that are STDs, you know what I mean? Like gonorrhea green or whatever. That is a public health nightmare. That is letting
Yeah.
people think that promiscuity is okay and cool because
Yeah.
it can be labeled onto a lip gloss or a blush. You know, like that
Yeah, it
is
makes no
gross.
damn
So
sense.
I
I
was
think that's a direct laugh in like the black community's face, saying that we got you guys and there's nothing you can do about it. We're gonna sell the disgusting stuff. We're gonna do what we want. We're gonna put the music out that we want. Like, they'll counsel people who are speaking the truth, but then they'll let people like King Von, who is a serial killer. He's just praised in the black community. He killed multiple people, but you celebrate him. But people like myself and probably all of you guys on this panel, they denigrate us and they tell us that we are trash and that we're coons and we're anti-black, but they celebrate the people that kill black people. And I can never stand behind it. You listen to that type of music. I don't listen to any prostitution music, and I refuse to listen to music about killing black people. And if you listen to that music, you are a part of the problem. I don't care if it's fun. I don't care if it's game. I don't care how you're looking at it. To me, you're a part of the problem if you're intaking that and into
Facts.
your spirit. I don't care in what manner. Like, everybody in my family know. I have a family full of liberals, and they know ain't no Cardi B playing around me, ain't no Sexy Red, none of that. I'm not with it. You guys can support her on your own time, but around me, I won't listen to it. I won't allow it. You have to set standards, and that's what one thing that Black women are not good at. You're not good at setting standards. You're not good at having high morality. Your morals are messed up. Your values, the things that you believe in, and God, like y'all relationship with God, that's how you know it's all messed up. The relationship you guys have with God is toxic. That's why you guys are all single and overweight.
Yeah, and you know
Dang.
what's very interesting, and I'm glad that you brought this up, is that the moment you try to
What up, Lee
promote
Turner?
anything that's positive within the Black community, you get labeled as anti-Black.
Yep.
You know, I will never get over the fact that, you know, I made a video on my channel and I talked about how, I don't know if you guys saw this, but during Halloween, we had a lot of, you know, white people.
I won't pause this for a second. A couple days later, Centra did a collaboration with Messing with Sean, and I thought it was an awesome live stream that Centra and Messi did together, and I might review that sometime this week. I just don't know when. Let's get back into this.
On blackface, and you had, you know, Black people all around, oh my God, just getting so outraged and interacting with the content and making videos about the content, and I was getting so frustrated, and so I was like, why are you guys giving them exactly what they want? They want to get a rise out of you. They want to see you act the fool, so that's why they're putting that on their face. You need to pay them dust. The most you should say is, wow, that's corny, and then go about your day. But I had so many Black people in my comment section, you know, trying to argue with me, saying that I was anti-Black because I said, stop giving the racists what they want. I was like, y'all are insane to me. It's literally anything that is positive. That's why I say, and I excuse my language, but the Black community, we are ass backwards. Anything that is positive gets demonized as anti-Black. But then y'all will sit over here and praise gangs who are domestic terrorists, and I will stand firm on this point, that these gangs that are terrorizing Black people in Black neighborhoods with Black businesses, y'all will sit over here and put the cape on for them, and y'all get mad. But if I go over here and I say, no, they need to send the National Guard out there and treat them like the domestic terrorists that they are. Oh no, why would you say that? Why are you trying to have this bad thing happen to Black people? First of all, they're terrorizing other Black folks. They just did all this to other Black folks. You mean to tell me you care about Black lives, but you only care when it's a white person taking that life, but you don't give a damn when it's us killing each other? And see, the part that is so interesting is that those same people will tote around a Malcolm X. But guess what? They don't know what the hell Malcolm X said. Because even back then, Malcolm X was like, we do a lot of stabbing and shooting of each other, even though we claim to be peaceful people. He was already talking about this issue. But guess what? They want to say, oh yeah, Malcolm X was for the people. If he was alive right now,
Yeah,
today,
facts,
saying
Lee.
the same thing
Just
was
been
said
number
back then, they would
facts.
call him a coon.
Oh,
Right.
Mike drop. She ain't never lying. Oh, that's the one right there. That the Malcolm X. They all they know.
I want once I'm done with this live stream, Lee, I'm gonna try and put the links for all of their channels in the description once I'm done.
That Malcolm X said is by any means necessary. Anything outside of that, they don't know anything else that Malcolm X said. They love repeating what he said, but they don't read books, guys, quite frankly. I'm sorry to say this about the Black community, but it's very inverted, like she said. That is like spot on, that how everything is
right
backwards.
here.
Everything that is bad for us, they give baby mamas baby showers. I'm never gonna get over that. Okay, baby mamas getting baby showers. You don't get a baby shower for being a 3-time baby mama. I just think it's
anytime, Lee.
crazy that they give them baby showers. They should not be getting them, and they have these
Write this
big
down on a sticky
proms
note.
and stuff. And these kids, the child barely got out of high school, barely made it. But they're having all these extravagant proms. They're pulling up in Rolls Royces, and the problem is they get rewarded for
Diddy's
degeneracy.
reaction.
I don't know if you guys know who Mellow Bucks is, but the Chicago
D.
teachers,
Roses.
they had her perform at the Hyde Park School, and she had just had a mass
Carmen
shooting at her
JC.
album release party where 4 people was killed and like 18 people were shot. And they was like, yeah, we're going to invite her to the school for the kids. It's just
We're talking.
everything in the community is backwards. I'm talking to teachers, the politicians, the celebrities. I don't even know who to tell people to look up to these days. Like, you know,
Right.
at this
And
point,
Central Faith.
I don't know who to tell you to look up to.
Because it's supposed to be
Right, because
parent.
you guys see where
Go ahead.
did you guys see where there was this
Okay, I got the
reporter?
names wrote
He
down.
was asking Brandon Johnson about the terror and crime.
Oh,
going
yeah,
on in his
Discord,
community,
yeah,
and
I'm
he went
gonna-
off on him.
Yeah, I saw
Saw
that.
that too.
I'm putting
Yeah,
put that
that
in
was a mess.
Discord too.
It's like your city is
once
literally
this
going
done too,
all the
like-
way to hell, and the most you want to do, you're upset at. And see, this is, I'm sorry, I hate to go on all these tangents, but it's just like it's to the point where you get mad at somebody shining a light on the problem, but you're not mad at the problem itself.
Exactly.
It's the same
Right.
type of commentary that I hear about what's his name? Tyler Olive. I just say Olivewood because I don't know how to say his last name. But he goes into these different communities and he highlights and he shows the different problems that are happening. And you will have people, specifically Black people, getting on here and saying, "Well, he's sensationalizing it. He's exploiting them." Y'all are mad because this white man has brought a camera to show the dysfunction that's happening in the community, but you're not mad that when he's showing the camera, what we're seeing is a bunch of Black people with bullet hole wounds, a bunch of Black people strung out on drugs,
Talk about it.
just a bunch of craziness, illegal weapons. Y'all are mad at him for showing a light on it, but you're not mad at the problem itself. You're not mad that there is something for him to show. I can't get that.
I think a lot of, and it's sad, you know, this is why I like having these discussions, because, you know, you have to look at the issues, the things that are actually happening in order to make a difference. You can't gloss over it and act as if it's not happening. That seems to be what's happening. You don't want to really, it's like you want to be perpetual victims, I think. Just want something
Yep.
to keep on complaining about.
Just
without
want to
actually-
be
not
professional
actually
victim.
you know, solving the problem. And I think that's what's happening. So let me ask y'all this. So what do you think can be done to fix this problem? Do you think it can be fixed? What has to happen for there to be a change when it comes to the Black community, all of it? Do y'all think, because we talked about this before, is there a way to fix it, or it's just doomed?
The Matrix needs to come and flash that little light.
You know, I think that the key to all of our problems and fixing all of our problems, one of the major keys, just for like the Black community, is realizing that racism, I don't want to say it's a hoax, like, 'cause there are people that are racist, but like Black people are not oppressed. I think realizing that oppression is not a real thing, like that they're not being like systematically oppressed right now. I think that if they open their eyes to that and then realize that white people are not just their enemies, I think that will do a great deal, because I think a lot of trauma is happening within the Black community. And this is why we see all the drinking and the smoking and the doing drugs and all of that. A lot of it comes from trauma. And I'm not just saying from white people, but Black people really hate white people. They do not like white people whatsoever. And they hate, Black women hate Black men. And then it's the cult-like behavior. We have to stop moving in like a cult. We have a Black cult with the Black culture, and then we have a cult within the cult with Black women. Okay? And if we can't look at
Okay, I see
those
what you're saying.
issues right there, like the thinking for ourselves, like if we don't start thinking for ourselves, making better decisions for our community, getting some of these liquor stores off our corners, fixing up our communities, that because we live in, like, Black people actually are in a good position. We live in all the major cities. Okay, we're living in the inner cities, and this is the best place to be if we build up our real estate that we already have ownership of. we can change a lot of things. If we just decided to stop killing each other, the price of the real estate will go up a lot. But the neighborhoods are so dangerous that no one wants to rent there, no one wants to stay there. But if we actually did that and clean up our neighborhoods, took care of our homes, we would see value in the things that we already have. And that'll be a start without even having to look to the system.
And also, I would add to that is, the single mother rates need to change.
Yeah.
Like, stop having babies with Pookie, Ray Ray, Ricky, Papa, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Just find somebody that you can, that's stable and then have a family, create a family, a husband, wife. If we could start creating stable homes again with stable families, the family structure, bring that back, that would help as well. Because now your kids wouldn't, because in my opinion, I think your children should be influenced by you. I think mothers and fathers should be the role models to their kids, and that's something that's lost as well. It wouldn't be even, an issue with Cardi B and Nasty Red and all of the rest of them, because you would be focused on listening to your parents and following their leadership and not the world, social media, and celebrities, because I think that's ridiculous for your kids to follow them anyway. So that I would add to that we need to bring the nuclear family back if possible, where we have stable families so that we can raise stable children, because they're the future. And if not, I think we're doomed. I do.
And when you bring families back, I'm sorry, go ahead, Queen.
Oh, and I was going to say, and also improvements in the education system, like make it to where once the education improves, that way they'll be wiser in the decisions they make as adults, like financially and reading and math and things of that nature too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
we
a lot
do
of
need
it-
financial
Know how to do those
literacy.
things as well, which is why they also have like they can't really handle living on their own and making adult decisions when they get out there in the real world too. I've noticed that as well.
By those dash cams. Those dash cam videos show us that they don't know how to act when they get out there on their own. So
Absolutely.
I think
I do have to drop out for just a little bit, but I did want to make one statement on this. I think something
Damn
that
right,
can
Lee.
be done
Stable family
is,
started
like
at
I
home.
said,
You
these
damn
different
right.
gangs, they need to be labeled as domestic terrorists and removed from the community, because
Talk
if
about
they
it,
are
Sanford.
allowed to be there and fester,
Talk about
then
it.
even the good, well-to-do Black people that are just not in a good financial place that have to live there, even if they are striving to do better, if they're living in a war zone, then their options are cut in half. Then their children are still living in squalor, still living with a lot of fear. So I think that one part of the solution is to get them up out the pain. I always relate it to a cancer. Okay, we can throw as many resources out there, we can build schools, we can do this, that, and the third, but if the terrorists are still there in the community to mess it up, then it's not going to go anywhere. Everything you built up is going to get destroyed the moment it's built, or it won't even get the opportunity to be built. So I think that one of the major points, and honestly, the communities could take the reins on this. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't advocate for anarchy, but there are.
no, I feel you. Yeah,
within,
see something, say
Venezuela,
something, do something. Yeah.
There are different communities like in South America where they said they were done with these gangs and they started taking them out. And so now they have a culture there where if you are seen with a gang tattoo, you are in fear of your life, because the regular schmegular everyday people living in those communities, they got sick of it and they started taking them folks out. So, I don't know if I can advocate for stuff like that, but I do think that the cancer within the community needs to be cut out so that anything that is restorative actually has a chance to restore. But I do have to drop out for a little bit. If you guys are still going, then I'll rejoin.
Oh, no,
but
I'm not.
If not, it's very nice talking to you ladies.
Where my
Y'all are
photos at?
awesome.
Thank you,
You
Sandra.
are awesome as well.
And I also think that the terrorist sometimes is the mother. Sometimes the mom and the grandma, Geraldine
Oops,
and
talk
Joy,
about it.
they're the terrorists.
Candy
Okay,
and
baby.
her family.
Yeah, it starts at the top.
Right.
Sometimes, so you got to clean your own house. Sometimes y'all have fires in your own house. That's why the kids is running outside trying to get away from the fires. They just running into more fires.
Right.
I mean, nobody wants to address the women when it comes to this. Just because she got on a skirt, I mean, your mama's a terrorist. She tearing up the family. She's a tornado. I mean,
You're totally right.
No lie told.
When that's your leader,
No
when
lie
your mom
told.
is turning all the siblings against each other. Your mom is gossiping all through the family. Your mom is rooting for you to lose.
That's real.
I've seen moms have sons that have wives and they instantly don't like the wives because that's their son husband. I mean,
don't go there.
Oh my God.
that mother. The mother is a tornado, man.
My tune probably won't be right, but screw it. I'm gonna say it anyway. Oh my God.
And sometimes them fires gotta be put out. And the fire start with Geraldine. I'm telling you, it does.
But look, oh my God, listen, and this is some real, what you're speaking is real life. Is it in my family? I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to that. But they're afraid to address the matriarchy. You know, they're afraid to address their mothers and the grandmothers who gave them all this bad advice, first off. And then the ones who act just like you just say, nobody wants to address it. If you say anything, you're the bad guy. You're the bad person for bringing it up, or even you can't. You're being disrespectful if you were to, you know, question that. You can't question the matriarch of the family. You can't do it, or you're going to be shunned for life.
I call them the untouchables. I call them out of women.
You can't question them though.
You can't.
You know what? They raise their children to not question them, to to think that they're always right. And this is why you do see that with the sons. And the sons, like I saw something, Tony Sotomayor, I think is his name, and he was just speaking to, like, you know, these women is the ones that let these, you know, boys sell drugs and come in their house and buy them loose sofas, and they're the ones that, you know, when the football players, they go to the league, the first thing they want to do is buy their mama a house. Their mama set them up like that for that, because guess what? She ain't got no man. Okay, your father left her, and then she done turned you against your father and turned you into your father, so you can provide for her. And that's exactly what happens when it comes to these women. These women are the problem, and they're the ones that's raising killers. So who the real killer? You raised
Talk
them.
about it.
And I think that, like when she said that you gotta clean out the gangs, you can't clean out the gangs because you're gonna have to knock off black women too, because they ain't gonna let you.
Talk
Those
about
are
it.
their babies.
The lady in Chicago,
it really is.
the mother in Chicago that was talking about the school, since you were talking about the gangs, she said, when I was growing up, I was GD crazy.
Oh,
And then as she was talking, she said, I'm still GD crazy. And I'm like, oh, so that's that gang culture. So now she done went from a jit to a grown woman, and she's still like the same kind of boys, which is why her sons are beating up mothers trying to walk their kids home from school. That is so sad. That made me...
Translation: the mama went from laying down with street niggas to her sons being complete YNs. Y'all see how wicked the cycle is? You went from a woman messing with street dudes to your sons becoming the YNs that we don't want to be around. Congratulations.
They're not tired of burying their children yet. They're not tired of burying their children. At this point, I think that they're okay with it. They'll rather
Say that
their
again,
children die
Carmen.
than to do something different. They'll rather their children die in the streets. Like,
we know you want to create a top-tier podcast, clear, engaging, and truly captivating. And to make
their children die than to do something different. They'll rather their children die in the streets. Like,
glorifying a
people probably
toxic
don't know,
culture.
like when you
Fact.
get Section 8 and you get funding from government, you don't have to stay in the city. You can move anywhere in the country with your Section 8. And a lot of people don't know that, but you really can. And these people will sit there and manipulate you and tell you that, oh, I can't afford to leave and I can't afford this. No, they just don't want to. I'm telling you, they can afford it. They got all the BBLs. I know that they can afford it. I'm telling you, they can afford it. They get their taxes every year. They buy cars. They go do all this
That they
expensive
can't
stuff. They take
afford.
trips. Well, how do you think they're taking these trips? How do you think that they're out the country? These girls go out the country more than I do. I don't even go out the country. They are everywhere. They got their nails done all the time. They got their hair done all the time. They can change things they don't want to. That's why you've seen them all in the panic when it came to the EBT being cut off. You
Mm-hmm.
get to see who the brokies are when
Talk
they turn
about
off
it,
that
Carmen.
EBT and they take them stamps away and they take that Section 8 away. You see who's complaining, and that's what it really boils down to. These women want their children to be losers, essentially. And if you look at the Willie Lynch letter describes exactly this about the Black woman, about how she's going to be hyper dependent and she's going to raise basically strong, stupid kids. They'll be strong, but they'll be stupid. They'll just do whatever the system tells them to do because they are products of the system. She is a product of the system.
Yep.
And you can see the Black men, they're doing better than the Black woman. They even raise children better than Black women. And Black women don't want to hear this. If you want to do the best thing for your children, then give it to the man. I'd rather them raise the children on their own than to give it to a Black woman. I'm sorry. And then the ones that y'all don't even keep, the one y'all killing them in your stomach. Like, okay, why did you have the baby? Y'all believe in y'all.
Damn, I
so
forgot
pro-choice.
you went
Why did you
there.
have the baby if you're going to be a loser parent? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Because I always say women like babies. They love babies. They don't like kids. And the court systems, giving the women all the advantage over the kids. You know, we're going to have a problem. Like I said before, we got little boys that's sitting on the toilet while they pee. You got little boys sitting on the couch while their mama cut the grass.
Factually, they will keep the children from money and control.
That's crazy. They can't raise men. That's what it boils down to. They can't raise men. They can barely raise surviving children. So
the women barely can raise themselves.
I mean, and then they're having children as leverage in a sense. Like, they're gonna get some more government assistance. I've seen it. You know, you have all these children by all these different men because they're gonna give you a little bit more on the assistance, and it's still not a whole lot, but still, it's like leverage to them. They're not prepared to raise these children for real, but they just want the benefits that come with it. But I think there's a whole lot of reasons as to why I think a lot of these women are having these children. Either but it's not for the right reasons. It's not because you want a family and really raise. That's why these children are not reading on the levels that they should. They're not educating them properly. A whole lot of host of things that's going wrong with these kids. And
y'all want to talk about educating them properly? Some of these parents. Some of these parents got to the point they think that the idea of raising a kid is by cleaning the kid up, getting the kid dressed, and putting an iPad in front of them while they sit on the other end of the couch. That's not raising a child. Raising a child means to actually get off your behind and teach the child, like I was taught. And like my sister was taught. I don't know what's wrong with this new generation. It's like they're getting lazier and lazier, and it don't make no sense. My bad. My bad. Fell down on me. Alright, let's get back into this.
not educating them properly. A host of things that's going wrong with these kids, and they don't care. They still run around trying to be Cardi B. Like, come on.
A lot of times they was just horny.
That too. Yeah, they just out here busting it open for whoever. They're not thinking about their actions. And this is why when you call it out, they're so mad and angry. They want to fight.
Like, what do you mean? Like, you that's no real explanation for your choices. Yeah, we all grown, so you can make your own choices. But I mean, if you're posting your foolishness on social media, and I get to see it, and I have an opinion on it, and it's against what you believe, that ain't my fault. That's your fault. You should have been
Exactly.
more
That's your
careful
fault.
about your choices and how you're looking and what you're presenting on social media. Nobody would know that you got 5 baby daddies and all of this and struggling if you didn't post it. You
Man,
post it on
5
social
baby
media so
daddies.
people get to have an opinion.
5 baby daddies. If I hear 5 baby daddies, I'm gonna be like this right here. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. That's the only thing I'm gonna be thinking about. Is there some hoes in this house? There's some hoes in this house. Certified freak. 7 days a week. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop.
Posting on social media so people get to have an opinion about it. And now that you don't like the opinion, somehow it's my problem. I'm a pick me because I see the foolishness or your behavior. So
And
go ahead.
and now you see as the parents are getting older now, right? So
Right.
now they sit in nursing homes. All the siblings are flipping coins, like who gonna go pick up dad or mom because they were bad parents. So they're wanting this good treatment, and you did not raise your kids right. You didn't even
Exactly.
like your kids, and now you think they about to come get you and put you up in a room in their house, and you don't even like them. No, they don't. They're done with your
Women
trauma.
screwed their kids up. Some of these women just screwed their kids right up, and it could
Yep.
look like they did a good job. Like Kevin Durant mom, like screwed him right up. Like he up there thinking it's my mom, and my mom made this possible. Like, no, like no, she didn't make this possible. I know that you're like, she took care of me, she did all that she could do, but no, she didn't make this possible. You got lucky. Is what happened. You got lucky. And for you to try to give this like your mother all the praise as if like she is, oh, it was just her. No. It was you. That you made it happen. You withstand your odds. It's not something that everyone is going to get. Most of these men that do get into the league and stuff, yeah, they're with single mothers, and they like what the guy said. You got to buy your single mother a house because she don't got a husband. If she had a husband, you wouldn't have to buy her a house, right? But that's the first thing y'all got to do. And I'm so tired of them getting parties for being baby mamas. They celebrate it. They throw parties for everything nowadays. Like these women, they celebrate anything. They celebrate being single. Like, I'm back single, girl. Let's go out and go.
And their divorces.
Fastly.
Like, this is not
Right.
right.
Fastly. I wish I could pin that. I'm going to go ahead and read it. Be careful how you raise your kids. They're going to pick your nursing home. Nothing but damn facts. The old saying is, karma is a motherfucker.
That's right. Why are we celebrating you being single?
Right.
And it's just it's totally inverted. And that sisterhood, I'm telling you, if you're a sisterhood member, you are a detriment to society.
So what do
We
you
call it Order 66 or the gynocracy.
Oh God.
That's right.
Okay. Now, if y'all don't understand Order 66, I don't know how many of y'all remember the Star Wars movie, but if you remember Order 66, Order 66 is what took out the Jedi Order and gave birth to the Galactic Empire under Palpatine. Okay. If y'all really, really want to understand the concept of Order 66, watch Star Wars Episode 3, and in particular, watch the last 28, the last 28 minutes of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and you'll figure out the whole concept behind Order 66. With that being said, let's get back into this. Oh, damn, I almost been here an hour and a half.
Order 66 or the gynocracy.
Oh
That's
God.
right.
Guys, I don't know what kind of magic this is, but these glasses are going to adapt to your vision for near and
66 or the gynocracy.
Oh
That's
God.
right.
So listen. So look. So what do y'all think about men, women, these single mothers trying to pressure men into dating them and taking them seriously? What's your thoughts on that? Should men be okay with dating, single mothers, 3 times single mothers, 400 pounds? You know what I'm saying? Like, should that be something they should be looking forward to?
No,
People
it's
with them
not.
kids should date them people
Hell
with the kids.
no.
People that have
Hell
kids should
no.
date people with
To the
kids.
no,
That's
Yes.
what I think. I
no.
think
Hell
blended
to the
families
no.
probably works best in those situations. But you're never like a man is always going to choose a woman with no children over a woman with children. Okay,
Always.
and if you might find a liberal or like something that's like, oh, it's okay, but you're not going to get a man. A real man do not want to deal with another man's children. I'm sorry. They don't want to deal with the household. Now, some men, I
Sorry,
will
not
say, will
sorry.
date a woman probably if she have one child and it's a simple situation and she's a different person and whatever. But men just simply don't want to have to deal with another man's children. They want a woman that can bear their children. They don't want to have a blended family. Like, I don't know.
But I talked about this not too long ago on Jeff St. James podcast, Ask a Brother podcast. Shout out to him. I saw him in the chat. The thing about it is even if a man with children accepts a woman with children, he's still going to have to take on the brunt and the financial load of her kids and plus her. Because
Yep.
that's and I can see why most men wouldn't want to do that, even if he has kids, because typically, if he has kids, maybe from a previous marriage or relationship, those children probably live with the mother, and he's probably either paying child support or supporting his kids financially. To take on another woman with maybe 2-3 kids as well, those kids are going to live with him and her if they get together. So now he's got his kids plus hers. That's just. And then the expectations on top of that from the woman, she probably doesn't understand how to work within a relationship or with the man. So she's expecting, the sisterhood Bonnie crew members price, like, pay everything. You need to make 6 figures. You need to pay for me and my kids. Pay for the trips. You got to do all. That's unrealistic, and I think that's the problem. And I was saying this too. They don't even know how to come in with the willingness to cooperate. You have this mindset that, he has to do it all, and if not, he's not good enough. When you come with baggage. So even still, but I do agree that if you have kids, maybe you should look to date people with kids, but still, that for the man, that's still going to come at a heavier price.
Yes, women are coming in with the bare minimum, and they want a fortress. They want everything.
Yeah, they want.
And women with multiple kids, they have a mental illness. I'm sorry. Everybody got their own last name. Everybody got their own family. Come on, give me a break. I mean, there are men that will sometimes take one, but being a stepfather a lot of times is a thankless job. I done been at the weddings where the stepfather didn't raise that kid since they've been one, and then here comes the dad coming down, and they look at the stepdad like, no, not you.
Right.
Like, you done raised.
I'm a stepmom, and it sucked for me. It still sucks for me. I'm sorry. I would not suggest any young lady walk into a situation where there's a baby mama terrorist. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't.
Right.
I'm sorry. And I have friends of mine that, they're in blended families, and their children call their stepmom, glam mom, or, they have these little cute terms. It was never like that for me because, my husband has a baby mama terrorist. It was always on 10, always on 12. It was never about what it was supposed to be. It was always about how she could stick it to him, you know, make him drive 8 hours and then say, my baby ain't going with you, you know, make him do all of these things and then say, oh, that ain't good enough. You should have did more. When all she's doing, like, you cannot appease them. And even if you think that you have a good woman, that, you know, she has children and she's acting right now with you, there will be times later on where you will see that her children come first before you, you know, their family too. Like if it's their grandmother, even if it's the paternal grandmother of the father that's not around, she will prioritize that over you. I have a son, he's 15. I don't want him to bring a lady home from college and say, Mom, I would like you to meet so-and-so, and this is Junior, her kid from some other man. I'm not going to be excited about that. And women drag me for saying that. And recently a man just dragged me for saying it, wishing all this bad stuff on my son. Like, you know, just because you raise him that way doesn't mean that that's what he's going to do when he gets older. No, he can make his own decisions. But as far as what mommy's standard is, he's going to know that I'm never going to be 100% on board with that. And in his own situation, he's grown up to understand that blended families are not always easy, and it's hard for him. The dichotomy between my son and his half sister, it's a strained relationship. It is not a good relationship, and it's because they're raised completely different, and there is no cohesion. There's nothing that I can do or his father can do to bridge that gap now, you know? So I've kind of like contributed to more of the madness for my own family. So now I get what my mom was saying when she was like, wait a minute, do you really want to do this? This is really serious. It is really serious. And it's not just from 1 to 18. It's forever. It's forever. It's marriages. It's holidays. It's forever. So don't do
Very
it.
much so.
I totally agree with you. I have sons, and I say it all the time. There's no way. Now you're right. They can, you know, they could go on and say, you know what, Mom, I really love her, and I'm gonna be strongly against it. No, some Bonnie crew member comes here with 3 kids, 2 kids, 3 baby daddies, 3 baby, whatever. I'm gonna tell you straight up, nah, I'm not. No, that's you're making. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not. I'm not for it. I just don't think. You and
Hell
you
no,
don't have
no,
any
no,
kids.
no.
You don't have any children, so I don't see that. No, go. You can find. You're young. You can go find a woman who hopefully who doesn't have any kids, and build your own family. I wouldn't recommend it. Now, if that's what they choose to do, and they end up doing it, okay, well, we can't control.
Yeah, we got to make the best of it, right?
Yep.
I'm not
Gotta
gonna
make the best
I'm
of
not
it.
gonna make it easy. I'm gonna let you know straight up that I don't agree with it. But what you end up doing is okay. I gotta accept it. But no, I agree with you. No, I don't want my sons. No, I would not at all. So, you can go shame somebody else because they're trying to shame these men into wanting them. Shame somebody.
Right.
When people ask me what I do, I say I design companies.
No.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the baby moms be like the puppet master over there when the kids come home. They be looking like, what you do? What you have on? What y'all was watching? What they buy? Like, and the kids, she over there just being a puppet master with the kid, like messing the kid up. And a lot of times the men didn't leave the mom that he was never with her. It was like a drive.
Talk about it.
It was a drive.
Talk about it.
He had a pit stop. Wasn't no longer than an oil change.
Oh my God. Listen, I say that all the time because I'm like, a lot of these women talking about, oh, well, the men just left. Oh, they just left the households. They decided not to take care of their responsibility.
Now, here's my question. How can a man leave something that he was never attached to? You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna say it. Whether y'all like it or not, some of y'all are nothing more than products of one night stands. I said what I said. Oh, you didn't hear me first time? Let me repeat myself again. Some of y'all were nothing more than the product of a one night stand. Take it or leave it. Let's get back into this.
Households, they decided not to take care of their responsibility. They were never there. Like you
Talk
said, it
about
was a
it,
pit
Didi.
stop. You was just hitting it and quitting it, hitting it and quitting it, and you got pregnant, and you didn't care about no protection, none of that. You was busting it open, and you didn't care about nothing. I literally heard a woman say she was there for the D. She didn't worry about, she wasn't thinking about the baby. What?
What?
So you was out here just doing it, and you didn't think that it was a possibility that you might end up pregnant. You didn't care. It wasn't a relationship. He was cute. He was 6 feet tall, had a six. He was, the typical Pookie, and you was attracted to that because they all attracted to Pookies and Ray Rays. So so Pookie was fine, and you gave him some, and you wanted it too. You had a good time. He didn't. Then you end up pregnant, and he didn't want no baby. He didn't want you. So did he really leave you? He wasn't really there.
Right, that is so true. He was never there. That is so true. And black women be so mad that nobody wants a baby mama. Like, Kevin Samuels, I'm telling you, like Kevin Samuels, did something to
Rest in
like
peace
the
to the
universe. He
Godfather.
cracked a matrix or something where everybody was able to finally see these women for what they were, and just all of their unrealistic. Because not only do they think that someone should put up with their children, but they think that it should be a 6-figure dude.
Right.
It's not like they're like, okay, I'll accept a regular guy if he puts up with my children. She's like, no, I want.
And I'm also going to say this here. Baby mamas, to a 6-figure dude, baby mamas are not even the help. You're not even, they don't even see you good enough to clean their house. Again, I'm just saying.
But the girl with no kids gets.
Right.
I want the same thing she gets. I want what the girl that made good choices get.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't have nothing else to offer these men, though. She doesn't even bring anything to the table. This is why she got the 3 kids, and this is a man won't leave you with 3 kids if you was bringing something to the table.
Mm-hmm.
If you was the person that he wanted to be with, if you was going to be that man's wife. And this is what's wrong with black women. I just watched a video I did a video about them being asked questions about if they would have sex with a married man that would take them to Pound or date a mediocre guy, and they all were like, I want to marry man. They don't care that he's married, and that's another thing about it, because they're the ones. These are the girls. Like, black women are the girls that are there to ruin other people's lives. They want to ruin other relationships because they'll never have one. So these are the women that are going to be sleeping with the women that have husbands. They're going to sleep with they're going to entice your husband on
Talk
purpose.
about it, Carmen.
Not even like your husband have to be doing anything.
And speaking of that, have any of y'all heard about the latest with Summer Walker and Rich the Kid, and the Tory thing? What was her last name? The one who bet down her homegirl a couple years ago. I can't think of her name, but anyway, Summer Walker is basically saying that she don't mind, quote unquote, being the side chick. Here's my question: where have things gotten so pathetic that you have women selling to be the side chick to a rich man rather than being a wife to a guy that's solid? I just don't get it. But then again, it ain't for me to understand.
Not even like your husband have to be doing anything to want them. They're going to extra want him, especially if they find out he's married, especially if they find out he has a beautiful wife, especially if they find out that he's doing he's the proper man to his wife, they're really going to want him, not even understanding that he will never be that for her. And that's what they just want proximity to greatness. That's all. That's all. You ever see the a porn star talking? She's like, I deal with powerful guys all the time. Yeah, you deal with them behind closed door. They'll never go public with you. They'll never be with you. They like proximity to greatness. I deal with police officers. I deal with this guy and this guy. Oh yeah, I mess with this basketball player and that. Yeah, say how they you know what they did to you. Right. That's what a lot of women don't want to realize, and that's why for me personally, when I'm dating dudes, I'm like, yo, I don't want you to to talk to me and then to talk to them is ridiculous. I don't want these women to have the same access as me to a man.
Yes.
Necessarily the cheating part, that's another thing. But the fact that you gave a woman like this access to you is ridiculous. You better cheat. You better cheat with a woman of quality. You better cheat with something that's better than me, so I can understand why you cheated. But to cheat with a baby mama, I would be offended. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't really be offended because I know that this is what they're used for. They're like cum dumpsters. I get it. But still.
It doesn't feel good. It would feel much better if she was better than, instead of worse than.
Well, it wouldn't feel good.
Shit, I had to grab my damn chest on that one.
I ain't for the cheating, but I see what you're saying. If you're going,
I ain't for it either.
Nah.
Dee.
Yep, low hanging fruit, Lee.
I don't
Damn
like
right.
Either. I don't like.
Yeah, but I can see
that's what they do.
Right. At least I get what you're saying. At least she
they come after women. You could be happy. You could be happy. That's why you don't want to post your man, because these women, you post your man on the internet. These women are in the DM telling them what they would do and all of this stuff, and it's just
yep.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. I listen, I've been through it. I know how women get down, and that's why that sisterhood stuff is real. It is real. And they sleep with each other's men too. Don't think it's just yours.
Talk about it.
They probably sleeping with each other too. But they
definitely they do.
Girls trips that they were so desperate to go on.
Yeah.
So desperate to go on their girls trips. It's disgusting.
Yes, so desperate to go on the girls' trips. Yes.
They on the Kudakata trip. I always say that women, they'll leave their men because the men had cheat on them, right? They'll leave.
They will go from the pole. That the man has to quote unquote, Sesame Timbers. How you gonna go from the pole to Sesame Timbers if you haven't Sesame Timbered before? Just a question.
And cheat on them, right? They'll leave him I'm leaving. He cheated on me, but then you leave to go be somebody's mistress in your 50s.
Right. Already
been. To have Walter coming through your door at 11:30 at night. But you done left this man. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to me.
I gotta pause this for a second, cause they mentioned Cardi B. Cardi B, and I'm gonna say this with a straight face. Cardi B was better off having a cheating husband than a whoremonger for a baby daddy. Again, I'm just saying. She went from cheating husband to being a baby mama to a whoremonger. I mean, it's a dumbass decision, but hey, it is what it is, right?
Since me, even if that husband ain't cheated on them before, they be like, I lost myself. I don't know where they lose themselves at, but they leave. And then you come out here, then you somebody's mistress. It doesn't make any sense. And then when they get out of here, they don't think they're average. They think that they are above average. They think they're better than most. But like I always say, you don't see donkeys at the horse races. I ain't never seen a donkey line up with the horses at the horse races. You can't compete with them.
Right. But they think they can. They really, I don't know. It's somebody soon said mental. It's something mental going on. It's some mental instability
it's
or
a whole
something.
bunch of
Because they
mental
really
illness
be believing the hype. And this is why when the way we talk about it
I'll
and
be back
discuss
in a
these things,
second,
they
y'all.
be
Hold on.
pissed. You know, some modern body
I'm
crew
gonna go ahead
member
and
is
let
watching
this
this
play.
saying, I can't stand them heifers, you know? They don't like it because they just don't want to hear anything outside of what they believe and feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, the sisterhood told us we are all 10s. You know, I said it before, 400 pounds. You know, I'm a 10. I will not accept the bare minimum. You know, it's just like, what? Please, ain't nobody checking for you for real. Like y'all ain't no man of status who has standards, or they're looking at you as an option, but they believe they believe the hype. They really think that they're 10s, and they, no matter how big they are, no matter how unrealistic their standards are, they're still the best of the best. And you got a 6'13" bust down wig with your nails and all the makeup and all that stuff, 400 pounds, and you still think you everything in 10 bags of chips. And the man's supposed to be like chasing you. What they want the men to we want men to what they say now. They complain about men not approaching them for one, and then men not obsessed with them. That's the thing, obsessed with them anymore.
They can't approach him. They was cussing Mr. Charles out at the Kroger's. They didn't even want to say anything.
At the store, yeah.
They got poor Mr. Charles out. But like they don't know what to say to y'all no more. Like you don't get to have it both. You can't have fire and water in the same hand. It doesn't make sense. And the reason why they think they are is because women don't tell other women the truth. Women sit there and tell Lizzo that outfit look good with the butt cheeks hanging out.
Right.
Like it don't. She need to cover up.
Are we talking about Lizzo?
Yeah, Lizzo.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing about like when it comes to Lizzo or even Monique, these women will tell you how beautiful fat is and then lose weight. I don't even understand how they're not catching on now. They just sold you on fat, and then they turned around and lost weight on you. Like how did you not see this? Like how are you guys not like, because they believe black women are that dumb. Okay. I think they're I don't know if I can say this, the sisterhood. I think they're the dumbest demographic in America. I think they're the dumbest out of everybody. Every demographic in America, they would be the dumbest. And it's not to be offensive. It's just to say that black women have a lot of work to do. Okay. And I am a black woman, and I don't like being represented by them.
The statue in New York.
Something else. Like, I don't know. I already press other on the black, white, purple, green thing. I push other. At this point, I'm not even like that.
No.
I hit other. I hit other on them. Like, I don't know.
You know what, Carmen? They will come for you for that, because you know that's, oh my God, she's a black woman and she's saying that. But you have to distinguish yourself from the rest. This is what they talk about too. Like, if there are good women out here, they're standing too close to the women who aren't. So there's no distinction. If you're dressing like that, if you're not, presenting yourself as, as a representation of who you are and who you want to be portrayed as, then you're looked at, as the same, even if you're not. So I think it's very important to distinguish yourself from the rest, to say, hey, this is whatever you are, this is what I am, and this is what I want to be approached as, and this is what I want to be represented as such. Because I mean, if I'm not a hoe, I'm not gonna be standing next to the hoes and dress like them. No, I'm gonna dress like a lady, like whatever it is I want to be approached as or presented as. So I think it's important to distinguish yourself from, because that's what's at the forefront. That's what we see. That's what people look at when it comes to the black community or black women, and say, oh, this is what black women are all about. This is what they look like. They're 304s. They're ratchet. They're loud. They're ghetto. And that's not all of us. So yeah, you have to distinguish yourself.
Yeah, like they say we big boned it. No. Me and Precious have the same skeleton.
Right.
Lizzo and me, they're not gonna know if we passed. They're not gonna know who's who. Like, there's no such thing as big boned. That they've been trying to make men buy this forever. I don't care how many Ivory commercials you make. Mm-hmm. I don't care how many videos Lizzo does. The results it shows, and it's sad because you see what's happening. Look at the kids. You got huge, big old fat teenagers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They how are the 16-year-olds bigger than Maggie, the grandma? Mm. How's your waist bigger than your grandma's? Because
can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Waist bigger than your grandma's is crazy. I'm sorry.
Right.
Anna, golly.
Welcome to my annual travel gear review roundup, where I show you the favorite things that I've been using, as well as some new gear that I'm excited about testing for next year. Like in previous reviews, I like to feature gear that I actually use, and not just the latest trends and most advertised products. I've broken this into several categories, including electronics, toiletries, I have some pouches and organizers, and a few slings and day packs. I've traveled close to 3 months in 2025, including 2 international trips to Europe. I've hiked the Camino de Santiago from Portugal to Spain.
Okay, I'm
So
back.
what do y'all think about the black women? I don't know, like if y'all seen it's a girl, I forget, I think their name is like the Ferdinands or the Fitzgeralds. It's the Fitzgeralds. And it's a black woman and she's pretty young. I believe she's like 40. I'm young compared to the guy. She's about 40 and the guy is like maybe 75 or something. He's pretty up there. He might not be 75, maybe he's like 70. But what do you think about the black women that get the older white men and they go marry
go,
them,
y'all.
but they never really fix their inner trauma, so they like kind of, they're dating black men do them wrong, and then instead of like healing and doing the inner work, they just go find a rich white man to essentially just fund their lifestyle, and then they'll just, obviously it's like a sugar daddy, but like they're starting to marry him these days. So it's like they're starting to marry their sugar daddy, kind of like the Summer Walker thing, where she I don't know if you guys see her
that
album
was
cover with
weird.
her like, I don't know if sugar daddy, I want to say.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that? Because I find that to be a little disturbing, and these.
I don't think it was a sugar daddy. I think he was some sort of designer dude, cause it came out later on that the dude was totally gay. So I don't know.
White men that take on these black women, I think they fetishize about
Me
them,
too.
like it's like a fantasy or fetish, and they'll just they'll be like, I know what I'm signing up for, and she's like, well, I am not, in love. She's basically doing it for the money. So like, what do you think about those type of women? Because I see a rise in black women that kind of get out of the life, I guess, in that manner, but they still deal with the dusties on the side, obviously.
I think it's like a cheat code. If you can, I think a lot of women like that would prefer something like that because it's easier.
Yeah.
If you could find a sugar daddy who's just gonna, because she's not gonna give him, in my opinion, she's not gonna give him the trauma or the drama that she would give a black guy that she's actually dating. She's not going to give that to that rich man because he's going to take care of her. So as long as he's taking care of her, she's going to do whatever it is that he wants her to do. So I feel like it's easy. And then if she's still sleeping with the pookies on the side, that's what she really want to be. He just can't fund her. Like, he can't pay for her. He can't.
With Hollywood, there's no telling. He could have been a little on that side. So, who knows?
Take care of her. So I think the sugar daddies know what they're getting into. They know what
Welcome back,
if it's a
18.
fetish, whatever it is, he knows that. He's willing to do it, pay for it. She's gonna do whatever he want to do. So she gonna do. He get what he wants. She gets what she wants. But at the same time, I I don't think women are truly happy in those situations because you don't love that old man. You're not in love with him. You're just there because he can pay for you. You really would love to have a nice man around your age that you could actually be in love with and live with and care for you and y'all love each other. But he don't have the money. So I think it's like a cheat code, I guess, to go and get the lifestyle you want without the other part of it. I don't think you'll really be happy though. I think it's just temporary because eventually you notice, they are. I see some of them. They're starting to marry them, and they're like, I guess they at their wits end. Maybe they realize, I ain't gonna never get, the man I really want to make this kind of money and give me this lifestyle, so I'll just go with this.
And then they try to convince us that they're happy.
The percentage of it is real small. You'll find panda hair in New York City first on the ground. And the truth of the matter is, when you seeing them women on Instagram and social media saying how they got this man, this white man, he's old, he got money. I mean, it's such a small percentage of women that are even able to do that. But it doesn't matter. You can take a poodle and color them orange and put stripes on them. It's still going to be a poodle. It's not going to be a tiger.
Right.
Like, so even though that she might have went over here to this old white man, you know, like, I mean, baby, you still stink. I always say rotten meat. You put it in Tupperware, put the top on it. When you open that top up, it's still rotten. It still stink. So she's still stinking over there. So she can try to convince us all we want to, and it's such a small percentage. Like I said, you'll find panda hair in New York City on the ground first. So I don't think we gotta worry about a lot of women going that way, because it's not a.
But it can influence a lot of women, because, you know, anything that these women see, they're like, oh my God, oh, see,
they love everything.
Yeah, oh my God.
They think that, oh, she is, they look at her and think like, oh, she is healed, she did this,
Right.
she got this guy, and this could happen for me. And this is what I'm like, Black women always think that it could happen for me type person. They don't ever look at statistics. Like, you see how you went into reality? Well, the chances of that happening is probably slim to none. They don't think like that. They're like, you know, if she can do it, I can do it too. This is like their mindset. They don't understand the logistics of how she got there, what situation she put herself in to be able to meet this type of person, because they think that they're just going to walk down the street or somebody's going to knock on their door, and then they're going to be like, I'm going to just have you pay all your bills and stuff. But I think it's really funny that when they do get into those situations, they're all of a sudden feminine. They're all of a sudden listening to what men are saying, and a lot of the times, like, they'll put on a more feminine role for these men. You'll see them change completely, and it's like
Their
the
voice
thing about them is they bow to money. Money is like, I realize that's their God. Money is Black women.
Yep. Tomorrow women, money is their God. Their God is money.
God. And the real God is, I think they'd slay Jesus if he came back. I really do. I think like, I already know they was, what if Jesus ain't, listen, they would. And then they would call him a broke ass nigga and everything.
Yes.
That would happen if Jesus came back to a Black woman. It's sad. Hopefully he come to one like one of us, because if he came to trouble. Oh my God.
No, I think it's gross. And I was going to say that, you know, they're only doing it for the money.
Right.
And for Summer Walker to tout that older white man for that last award show, it was just that, like, trying to promote that, you know, to the young ladies. Like, don't even bother with the Pookies anymore. Now that I've had 2 Pookies babies, you know, let's not bother with them anymore. Let's go get these older white men and use them. But they don't understand that they're also being used for something. You know, so it's not a place of empowerment. It's still a place of, you know, lowness.
Right.
You know, it's not empowering. And then I would ask, if these older white men are marrying you, are they leaving you their assets? You know, because there was like a big fight with that Anna Nicole lady, right? When that billionaire man that she married wanted to leave her assets, the man's children were fighting them, the estate with that. So it's like, think about it. Be strategic when you date. You are supposed to be strategic. You're not supposed to be out here spreading it low and wide. But you're also not supposed to be leading with the thought that you're going to be able to take advantage of the man that you're with. So I think that's what makes it really gross and disgusting, that you'd be willing to take advantage of someone for money and personal gain. That is gross to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I wonder if those marriages last. How long? Because, you know, a lot of times they don't. But it's like Red Talk Anna said, it's a small percentage. And most of them aren't married. They usually just, this is their sugar daddy until he find a younger version of her. Then she's kicked to the curb and it's somebody else. But yeah, it's just ridiculous, y'all.
Yeah, she putting baby on the steps in the bathroom, hoping he fall.
Girl.
I'm just saying, like,
Putting baby oil on the floor in the bathroom. Like, oops.
Everything. She doing everything.
Oh my God.
Get rid of Mr. Paul.
Waiting for him to die? Like, that's
Smell Roses, you said that Summer Walker stuff, and I think that right there with Summer Walker was key because if you pay attention to Summer Walker, she went through like this whole healing process, and then she popped out with Rico Reckless, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, you went through this whole healing process, and then you pop out with someone like Rico Reckless, and you thought something was going to be different.
That was going to be better.
Like you could just tell that these women are not actually holding themselves accountable. She probably went through a process of being like, okay, he won, like, it was him, none of it was me, which is a thing that Black women have a problem with, identifying their role that they play in things because they're always innocent. And yeah, when she pops out with Rico Reckless and then that doesn't work, and then she's like, you know what, forget it. I'm going to just date old white men. She still didn't do any more inner work. And then she do the I'm going to date old white men thing, which she was. And then now she's like caught with in
Tory Brits.
And then now she wants to ruin women's lives.
Like what you said earlier.
Yes, this is what it's a cycle. So now she went through that cycle of wanting to have her own man. It didn't work out because she's choosing bad. Didn't work out because she's choosing bad. Then she tried one more time. It doesn't work out. She moves on and you say, you know what? I'm getting me a sugar daddy. And as she got her sugar daddy because he's not making her happy. And she's like, let me go check on somebody else's man. Whose relationship can I ruin so I can have company in my misery? And that's what they do.
I mean, I expect people to be who they are. I mean, Summer Walker has like a litter of kids. She needs to be spayed and neutered. I think that when it comes to Summer Walker, I mean, she's playing her role. I don't think she will qualify for anything that had greatness.
Yeah, that's her role. Her role is
they
side
qualify
chick.
for the men that they talk to. The men that they marry, the men they be around, is not going to go up past that. As far as psychology of it, like they can't go up no higher.
But then she said Cardi B had
Whether Summer Walker likes it or not, from this day forward, she'll be nothing more than a permanent side chick. And I'm gonna say this as well: if Meg Thee Stallion is not smart enough to marry Klay Thompson, Meg Thee Stallion will never get married. Mark my words. If Meg Thee Stallion never marries Klay Thompson, Meg Thee Stallion will have zero chance of ever getting married. Let's get back into this.
They can't go up no higher.
But then she said Cardi B had a perfect person that she was with. Like he was cheating on her to death. But listen to your music. You broke up with your husband to get cheated on by a side dude. Like and he had several babies on you. Like that wasn't even just cheating. It was a public humiliation. Yeah. And it's just completely ass backwards. I couldn't believe the whole. Well, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I totally believe it, but I didn't believe that she would actually go out like this and like literally. I thought like, okay, you were married and you get divorced to be a side. Yeah,
she was playing like
it doesn't make sense. She might as well stay with Offset. That was the perfect couple right there. Exactly. Just stay with him.
Offset was Cardi B's match.
You already made your bed.
And he made no babies on her while they've been married. He might have been cheating, but he didn't make any other children while he was in that marriage. He was just cheating. This Diggs guy, he's had 4 babies so far, plus her baby. Now that's like 5 babies in 1 year. That is just like, and when she did that interview with, I guess it was Gayle King, and she was saying she hadn't told her parents yet.
And mind you, if y'all saw that interview, even Gayle King was looking at Cardi B like she was crazy.
Well, you know why she didn't tell her parents? Because they're going to be like, are you crazy? Right. Like, why would you be?
And here's something else that a lot of people don't know about Cardi B. Her parents are old school Catholics. So how she living her life? Her parents ain't with some of that mess. I'm just saying, and her grandmama especially ain't with the mess that Cardi's doing.
Doing this, and they would shame her. So Dee Dee, when you said earlier to fix it, you would, women would stop making babies out of wedlock and they would be married. I think that is, the start, and then by doing that, we bring shame back. Because if it's women out there moving like Summer Walker trying to sleep with our husbands, then we have to give her, the Scarlet Letter. Y'all remember that book in school, The Scarlet Letter? That shit scared the hell out of me. I don't want to be walking around in public with an A on my chest and everybody knows that I'm the cheater woman. So let's bring some damn shame back to these ladies.
There needs to be something. Let me get through a few of these super chats, y'all, and then I think I have one more question, and then we'll be wrapping this up. Frederick Howard, 2300. Thank you.
Okay, I want to skip on through the super chats to try and get to the end. Let me skip on a little bit more.
One of the most classic and iconic ways to carry a firearm is with a shoulder rig. Yet most gun owners.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are funny. But listen, y'all, I appreciate this. I really enjoyed y'all coming up here. Trust me, y'all don't know how much, I've been trying to do something like this for a long time. So I'm really excited.
And in case y'all don't know, I remember Dee Dee having the idea for the women's panel a couple years ago. So Dee Dee's been trying to do this for the past 2 years. And I know Dee Dee, this is her first one. And me personally, I have a feeling that Dee Dee is going to do more, a few more of these. Hopefully, I hope she does one more around before the end of the year. And me personally, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of gems, jewels, and whatever. That was thrown, and thank you to Lee Turner for reminding me to in the discords and in the description to put the link to the women who are on the panel. And all these women are content creators, except Queen of Vibes. She doesn't have a page yet, but she says that she wants to do one. That she wants to do a page. With that being said, I thank y'all for sitting here with me for 2 hours and 5 minutes. I don't know what game is on, but before I started this one, I think that the Patriots won over the Bills. I think the Patriots are 12-3 or 12-2. I'm not sure which one. And the Bills, I think, are 9-5. I'm still trying to figure out how in the world the Patriots got 11-win season. I need to see how Phillip Rivers did for us today, cause I don't know what it is with the Colts. Ever since Andrew Luck retired, we have had pitiful luck with QBs. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go put some football on the TV. I thank y'all for being here. I thank God for y'all. There's so much more I could say, but like, share, subscribe. Again, thank y'all for being here. I'll see y'all again soon. Peace.